Hi, my name is Winsley, and welcome to the next episode of Stellaris Necroids. We are going to be playing as the Seekers. We're continuing this game with Gospel of the Masses, Corporate Death Cult, and the Void Dwellers origin. If you want to see the last episode, I'll put a link in the description below. And the last one, we ended at year 50 after hopping around between a couple important points in the campaign. I wanted to just kind of show off what I was doing with the Empire without all the boring decisions in between. And I think to show off the next stuff, it does make sense to start with the state of the galaxy. We got out to here, and I think we're friends with these dudes, right? Yeah, we got defensive pact with them, and the growth. Suspicious of us. These dudes over here, not very happy with us, but they also don't like our neighbors. So yeah, let's jump ahead now. So it's been 11 years, or roughly 11 years, and the Empire has grown quite a bit. We have a lot more space over here, and it's starting to look like I might be able to pin in Jeff's corporate death cult here if I can get just a couple more locations over here. Then they won't be able to build down into this space and over here, which is it's really good for Empire. That means that we got all this. Maybe that wormhole will be an issue, but honestly, we've got most of the planets already, so just getting this stuff over here it sounds like a pretty good goal. We were able to uplift a species, which means now we can just colonize this stuff really easily. They were irradiated, so they have tomb world habitability, and being uplifted means they have extra happiness. So, may want to start sending some people over here as soon as possible, getting lots of colonies to, send food to our habitats or other important resources. By uplifting, we were also able to use this relic over here. We had extra influence, which meant we could make a Gaia world pretty much like right after that last little segment ended, and again more recently, so that we got 2 Gaia worlds in about 11 years. There's I think a 10-year cooldown, 10-year cooldown on it, so you can't just have like a bunch of Gaia worlds if you have the influence for it. But we do have this one. We made that one into a Gaia world, and we made this one? Yeah, this one into a Gaia world. So we have a couple Gaia worlds. This one's on our border over here. I think because we share it with this aggressive nation, and our allies also share a border with them, then we should be okay if we have to defend that side of the Empire. What else was there? Oh, we have some pretty good technology. I don't think I've talked much about technology, if at all. I think we have second place in technology, and we could probably get more pretty easily if we just focus on making our habitats in the right place, spending some influence on that kind of stuff. Having 4 of them is quite a bit better than 3, so having 5, yeah, seems like a reasonable move to start working towards. Our factions. We do have an update on factions. I think in here we're not letting there be any robots, which means these guys are happier, and we kind of had to do that for our spiritualist faction to keep them at 60 happiness, and to keep getting influence, because that's tied to our factions. Yeah, we had to counteract the penalty from the tomb world, going on there colonizing that stuff. By making robots not an option, that means we're going to have less pop growth, but it probably means we'll have more things like alloys to use if we need them, which I can see us needing them sometime in the near future. Unfortunately, we haven't had influence or pops really to spare yet, so even though we're 60 years into the game, I haven't seen a great opportunity to use bounty, harmony, and togetherness, and with the amount of buildings that we've built with that can sacrifice pops, I think sacrificing would ultimately be worse for us than it is good for us. But yeah, this is still a mechanic that I haven't played around with much. I really like the buildings that come with the Death Cult Civic. They're pretty good by themselves, but I think you combine that with sacrificing, and you've got yourself a really nice, strong strategy. I think we can, yeah, maybe jump ahead now to the future. Gonna have to, I think, block off this, block off that, and then we can start thinking about using our influence on other things. Maybe even go to war. So we've jumped ahead again. Now we are unfortunately at war with the Bilnok concern. They attacked me, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. By being the war leader, I get to decide when we achieve our war goals, settle status quo, or surrender, instead of the AI making up that decision for me. So yeah, I'm gonna have quite a bit of time to try to get back to this planet and retake it. Unfortunately, they really want this planet. It makes sense. It's a Gaia world. Maybe you shouldn't have made that into a Gaia world. It's just a little too tempting for them. Our allies here have claims through quite a bit of space, so in order to enforce demands, or achieve war goals rather, they're going to need to basically take out this entire nation, and they've done okay. I think in general they have the better fleet, but if they do some dumb things, this fleet from the enemy, the Bilnok concern, could definitely take out the Pokemon Corporation. But you know, on the other side of the empire here, we were able to get around to, I guess that's Kadaraka. I guess that's how you'd say that, and keep these guys out of it. I considered even sending a guy over here to explore and try and grab some more stuff in this empty space, but there's an empire down here that's keeping people from getting into what looks like a little tiny cluster, not a giant cluster, but a couple systems over there, maybe isolated from everybody else. I mean, I guess there's a chance this leads in down to there, but I'm assuming that since nobody's gone there yet, that this is all like a, you know, unsettled. We do have this thingy we expanded out into, so we can start excavating that. As much as I want to spend influence on grabbing this stuff up here, I think it makes sense to save it up for this stuff as much as possible. Traditions, we have unlocked mind over matter. We're actually psychic now. Woohoo! Yay! We have Voidborn, gives us more building things on our things. And yeah, we're making our way through supremacy. I think we're going to need that for warfare, for fighting wars like this soon. Thinking as much as I want to spend influence and alloys on making habitats, I need the influence for other things, and I need the allies for this war. So I'm going to have to build my own fleet, knock down this thing probably by myself. The 2.6 is not nothing. I kind of wish I left it undefended so I could just send a tiny little fleet in there, get some armies over there, and then like settle status quo, because my allies would gain some stuff if I was able to do that and make sure there's nothing in this space over here. It doesn't make sense to spend influence on reforming our government because I don't like any of the options. We're already making plenty of unity. We don't need that. We don't need that. This could be okay. Definitely don't need that. I mean, I guess Emperor Sprawl from systems, having that drop could be kind of useful. Having more envoys could keep us out of wars. So maybe it is worth spending it on spending my influence on reforming the government, but yeah, I don't see myself doing that anytime in the near future. I think, yeah, when we went to war, these guys started building up into this space, because now I don't have closed borders. Then they can grab systems up here, and probably all throughout my empire. So I kind of want to end this war before they start grabbing anything that's gonna let them grab planets or anything quite like that. We're gonna need to check out our wormhole soon. I don't think we've got the tech for exploring. Nope, still waiting on that. But we do have some nice techs. We've been able to grab some pretty useful ones for fighting and for research in this tree. And you know, it's been a while since I looked at this, but I think we got that recently and this recently. Keeps us getting more influence. Pretty important stuff for us. Have we looked at our factions recently? We're getting more spiritualism. Yay! This faction's finally almost gone. It's almost nothing. But yeah, it's good to see that spiritualism is up. It gets us more trade value and more other nice resources. Is there anything else to say? Ah, yes, the armies. I built them here to go retake that. They could probably just sit on the planet to keep the dudes from expanding too much. I think we're ready to jump forward to the next point in time. You're not gonna believe this. We've got our work cut out for us. We got wars to be fought. We've got this nation down here, the growth, that has decided to attack the Pokemon. They have some stuff that they want, so it's gonna be hard to keep them from taking that. I saw about 30k in this system not too long ago. Our allies got 10, 20k there, a little bit more spread out. So, you know, if they grab everything together, they may be able to keep the AI from pushing through here. But I don't know if I should be sending all my forces over here to support them, or if I should be sending them over to the other war, which is actually close to my space. It looks like, you know, they've made some claims up here. They want this planet, unacceptable. And I definitely have a lot more to lose out of this war. Maybe because it was declared after this one had started. This one will end and we'll be able to send all our forces over here. Me and the Pokemon will be able to take these dudes out. I'm not sure how long the Pokemon are going to be a strong empire in this galaxy, because I have a feeling the growth are about to smash them and absorb them. But it really depends on how these next few fights go, what the AI decides to send forward. We were very lucky. Using the Shroud, we were able to get a Psychic Avatar, which has quadrupled our fleet power. We did get enough to get to the system, knock some people out of the area, and end the other war without losing any territory. But I think it weakened the Pokemon enough that other people are like, oh, we'll take advantage of this. There's a lot of nice systems. At least these guys don't hate us. At least they like us. They like our trade value, and they shouldn't be a problem on this side of the empire. We did expand over to here to this wormhole. This wormhole leads to one of the people we're fighting. So that could be a problem. They may come through that. They may not. I'm not sure if they have the technology to do that yet. But yeah, I definitely want to fight these guys over here. I'm not concerned about the growth. They may even be my ally after the wars are done. We've finished our supremacy stuff. We've got transcendence. That's how we were able to talk to the Shroud and get ourselves our nice stuff. We've started doing diplomacy, which I'm just now realizing I maybe should have done earlier. It would have gotten me more influence because it reduces the cost of doing diplomacy with other people. We are a little high on sprawl. Our economy is suffering, so I can't go too crazy with the fleets, with building things. I mean, I have gone a little bit crazy with settling on these tomb worlds, but hey, I've got people that can go there, so I feel like I should make the most out of it. And also Grunar, you know, Grunar's a tomb world, so we might as well, you know, have as many tomb worlds as possible. If we're going to be suffering this little modifier for being on tomb worlds, we might as well go to a bunch of them. What else have we gotten recently? The faction spiritualist is getting bigger. We've made another habitat over here. Yeah, put it down here over a research node, I think, right? So we're going to be able to research more, and that should be really good for us because we're going to need that research to keep up with these other empires. They just get too many modifiers on all the other things. We've got pretty much the same research as the growth, and by being at war with them, we may be able to get some debris. But yeah, I think I want to fight this war and give you an update now. I'm really excited. We got an interesting galaxy going on here. See you soon. Alright, let's start with a little bit of good news and a little bit of bad news. I was able to push pretty far into their empire. That's the good news. We got all the way down to the main one's capital, and it looks like we're going to be able to take that pretty quick. They've got some decent garrison here, and we got some armies coming down, which the AI is trying to pick off here and then, and I've been able to use the Psychic Avatar to blow up some pretty sizable fleets. We built up this this fleet to be decent, and combined with the avatar, we've been able to take on every little fleet that they've decided to throw at us. We've just been taking them out piece by piece, and these guys all decided to send their dudes through the wormhole. Unfortunately, they were able to get into my back line and take a lot of stuff, but in a weird way, that's kind of a good thing. By having their forces over here, they weren't concentrated in one location where they could fight me and beat me. Now we have to basically decide if we want to wait for the Pokemon to send their dudes all the way over here, because they can't really go through the Marauders, or if we should just kind of push forward and try and get the economy, get these planets inside the economy as soon as possible. We're making a pretty crazy amount of influence per month, so actually coming in here and claiming these capitals and taking them is a reasonable thing to wait around for. We may try to grab just one more here to grab a decent part of the galaxy in terms of population. This planet has 60 pops because it's a capital, and this one has 68 because it's also a capital. I don't think this one's small because, yeah, it started next to a capital. It was able to get settled pretty easily. So yeah, I'm thinking grab these ones this time, and then maybe in the next war grab whatever's left of these dudes. It's strange. This nation here only has 2 planets, so by taking out these 2 cities, we're going to depopulate this entire part of the galaxy, and we'll have to come in here and expand as quickly as possible. It looks like Jeff's corporation is also at war with these dudes because they saw we were beating up on them. I mean, makes sense. They could get something out of it. And I would like to join their federation. I think it'd be really nice to join their federation. They seem reasonably strong. They're efficient or equivalent stuff all around. So once this is all done, we may try to federate with them. I don't know if we're going to be able to make the gross friends again. We are doing what we can to make them like us. But I think we're going to need to break our thing over here in order to get away with that. And right, the reason we have so much influence is because I rivaled 3 empires, 1, 2, 3, and that combined with all the other nice things that we've got from like our factions allows us to get more influence, more than we've been able to gain per month for the entire rest of the game. Yeah, we got diplomacy. We're almost completed that, and I'm not sure what I want to grab. Maybe master builders or arcologies, because we have quite a bit of planets that could actually use that type of stuff. The economy's looking strong. Still got research subsidies. I did spend some influence on that because it's pretty good value. If you can afford to spend the influence on it, you should. We will trigger this as soon as possible. I think we have a couple Gaia worlds all over the place. That one was earlier turned into one. One of these other ones too. This one's turned into one. I think I recently turned this one into a Gaia world. It was a tomb world, and now it's something people really want to go live on. Pretty good world. Bet there's some more in here that I converted. Yidria I don't think was a Gaia world when I got it. So yeah, we've done some good work. We may turn some more of these tomb worlds into Gaia worlds. I think you get a bonus for Gaia worlds, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah, you get extra 10% resources from jobs biological pops are happier, which translates to more efficient jobs. They'll turn the resources into other resources more efficiently. And that may be it. I think we could check the market. We're selling excess minerals, buying a little bit of food, but we don't really need to buy some consumer goods, but we don't really need to. We have enough building things over here that we can get by without it. Don't think we've changed anything over here recently. I've been more focused on war than anything else, and that has led to us falling behind the growth in terms of technology. We are at 2,300, they're at 2,800, but we're still like easily the second best. Everybody else is quite a bit far behind. The growth have done really well for themselves, and I think staying on their good side is probably a good maneuver, just considering how much economy and how strong their fleets are. But we're gonna have to reevaluate after we win this war down here. Shouldn't take too much longer. And then I think we'll have our last little update for this episode. See ya. One thing I did forget to mention in the last little segment was that the Empire of Kraksov has expanded into this side of the wormhole, and you know, while that means they're not getting any systems or anything like that, it is a lot of income that they will be able to get that I just don't want them to have. It could make them a little bit harder to knock over in the future. They don't have that much, but compared to what I have, it's sizable, and if they ally up with anybody, then I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this stuff as quickly as I would like. I really love that they have this Ruined Mega Art installation, which we could get to pretty easily, and with this technology that we're researching, we're going to be able to repair that pretty easily pretty soon. We're making a lot of alloys, so once we've got our mega structure restoration stuff, we can restore that and build ourselves a science nexus. We really want that science nexus because this game is all about science. We're doing pretty good compared to the other nations, but the growth is almost 1,000 more research than me. But that's okay because we have a defensive pact now. Yeah, they like us. And these dudes, not so much. They're not as big of fans anymore. So I'm expecting us to, you know, have some issues with them in the near future. Maybe we're gonna have to fight them, or you know, I don't know. We can take over their empire or something. Could be kind of useful if they send all their fleets over to the growth territory and I can just send mine in here. It looks like they have a lot though. They definitely have more than me. If they wanted to just walk through my empire while the growth is doing their own thing, that's a problem. And that leads me to think it would be nice to maybe federate with these dudes, but they're at war, and this person apparently has a terrible economy and terrible technology, as well as being on the border with this purifier. I mean, I want to go fight that purifier, take over all their land, but not quite yet. We don't have what we need to take them on. They are superior to us, pathetic technology, and equivalent economy, so it would be kind of a fair fight. Might as well rival them though. They're on the opposite side of the galaxy, right? Yeah, I don't see any reason not to rival them at this point. You have been rivaled. Thanks for the influence. Our economy is looking okay. We're definitely a little low on consumer goods and food, but that's okay because we really need alloys at this point. We really need to push for that stuff for megastructures and for going to war. And I think that may be everything I really wanted to highlight here. We've expanded over to this planet. We grabbed that planet before the Empire could get over here and grab that. I don't think they can jump into this space, so I'm going to save my influence for other things other than expanding over here. Maybe build some more habitats. We've got a reasonable amount, so I don't think we need to expand in that regard. Plenty of planets. I mean, 26 planets at 108 years into the game seems pretty good to me. 686 pumps seems pretty good to me. I'm sure the growth has a little bit more. I mean, they are called the growth. They should grow reasonably quickly, but I also just think that they have some nice civics to go with the play style for, you know, blowing up and growing really quickly and being kind of like a mid-game threat. So yeah, we're gonna have to continue to work on our fleets. We got these planets. We should probably consider converting them over to being spiritualist. They're already pretty happy, so sounds like we did a pretty good job of that already. I remember when we got these, it didn't take very long to actually make them happy, so that's nice. We did leave one over here. We just didn't have the influence to grab all the stuff from this nation, so why even bother trying to grab a city? We could just take this and then get these for cheaper, or maybe go for Colossal. I think I may use this slot on Colossi, or let's see, what else do we have available to us? Transcendent Learning's okay. Arcology Project, I just haven't decided exactly. So yeah, that's everything I wanted to say for this one. We'll continue this game, try and convert the galaxy. I'm not sure if we're going to try and get 100% of all of the pops to be spiritualists, but at least every empire should be spiritualist or fanatic spiritualist, and I want at least 80% of the pops in this empire to be spiritualist. I think sending a Colossus to each individual planet to make 100% of the pop spiritualists could take a little bit too long, and I'm not interested in just clicking on all the planets to say I did it. After a certain point, I could do it, and you may just have to take my word for it. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the next episode. Things might blow up in my face. We might lose this empire in a war against a purifier. Would be kind of fun. But yeah, I'll see you then. Have a good one.